ladies and gentlemen, please, thank you, sit down. I will ask you all to clear the aisles so that the ladies equipped with microphones can get to you. Director Soderbergh. As for everyone else on this dais, I will not insult you by giving you their last names. You all call them by their first names. So here's George, Brad, Matt, Sir Elliot, Lady Ellen, Don, Scott, Eddie, and Chabot. Am I forgetting anyone?
Andy.
No.
Andy. Like if you had a cinematographer, what would your conversation with him be? That's the way to make sense of what I want to know.
Oh God! What are you smoking?
Come on, answer.
Look, one of the pleasures of making a movie like Oceans, or making movies like Oceans, maybe the only pleasure, is I get the opportunity visually to play in a way that's not really appropriate for another kind of film, and I can push things both in terms of movement and editing, and in this case color, in a way that if you're making a serious movie, it would just take people right out of the film. So there's an assumption, it comes from that side of the room, not this side of the room, that if you're making an entertaining film, that you're not as engaged, that you're not as into it, that you're not as passionate about it. I don't work that way. I don't think any of the people here work that way. As George said, we just love making movies, and these are, from my standpoint, the Oceans films are more difficult for me than some of the serious films that I've made that I've gotten much more attention for. They're tricky. They're really tricky. But for me, it's a side of my interest and my personality that I really like to explore occasionally. I think if I made every film like Oceans, or I made every film like Traffic, that would be a trap. That wouldn't be interesting to me.
Always
Come on, tell us something real.
好奇怪。
A little bit about Al Pacino, tell us.
我把记得在哪里？我不知道他在哪里耶。
What do you say, Steve?
Al Pacino, I don't know where he's at. Where is he?
And when we missed last fall's window, editing wise, when you see it, you'll see it's a fall movie, and it works. We're really proud. As far as Mr. Pacino, naturally he was nervous at first, but he seemed to take notes well from each of us, and he really settled in.
He has a bright future.
Yeah, he settled in after a few weeks. Do you think?
Yeah, I was surprised he was so receptive to the notes.
I mean, just make a statement about Pacino. He can't be here because he's doing an AFI tribute. They're doing an AFI tribute, so we want to be
born
here.
behind in such quick succession, and what you've taken away from both experiences, and what is your favourite aphrodisiac?
Whoa.
Because those are all related.
Matt, here.
Yes.
We had to do that on the set all the time. Matt, here, Matt.
And that's the answer to your final question. Here's my favorite aphrodisiac. That was an insensitive. Aphrodisiac. Hey, wait a minute.
What does he mean by that?
God, it's just entertainment. I think the Linus character in this movie is really unique because I played him completely differently in all three films.
And the old hotels from way back when, is there a kind of tinge of nostalgia? Said yes, sir? Is there a kind, plus not to mention the Sinatra handshake, is there a kind of nostalgia on your part about that kind of long gone days?
Pretty much.
No, they're jerks.
Nobody came with baggage. Everybody came with
Yeah.
How am I?
Well, here's the thing. Steven steals a lot of things from me, isn't he?
Yeah.
Which has an influence on what I do because I'm very careful about my shots. He'll steal them. Listen, Stephen has influence on most filmmakers, quite honestly, and so most of the time you could call it an influence, or you could literally call it stealing, because I've called him up and said, I just stole a shot from you from a film you did 4 years ago. And then he'll tell me where he stole that shot from. No, he's the kind of filmmaker. It's not just about the kind of films he makes and the style that he shoots them, but it's also the way that a set is run. He teaches, he keeps it very calm. He works efficiently, and he gets exactly what he needs, and that teaches filmmakers a lot. Most filmmakers should go and take a class with him. That's the only nice thing I'm going to say about you today.
No, I mean, I think they did, how many other Rat Pack films? They did Robin and the Seven Hoods, and then was that the other one?
Sergeant's 3.
Oh, yeah.
Sergeant's 3, yeah.
Thank you. I hope I don't offend any of my changes how I am.
It is an entertainment.
I'm afraid our time is up.
Oh, thank God.
Thank you very much.